Good morning. Welcome to Good News Covington County with Brother John, Cousin Jared, Cousin Tom, and my faithful companion Batman over here. It's a wonderful day. It's Friday, the 18th day of May, and we're happy to be here. The weather looks like it's going to be a beautiful day out there. If everything goes right and it doesn't rain, I'll be camping out with a bunch of Boy Scouts tonight. If it does rain, I'll be at home camping out with my beautiful wife. I think I'd rather be at home. Our first segment is brought to you this morning by the Roadrunner Car Wash, Andalusia's newest and finest car wash. Roadrunner Car Wash is located at the intersection of Western Martin Luther King Parkway and the Presswood Bridge Road. They're doing a soft opening right now. If you call 130-40 cars a day a soft opening. But the quality of their car wash and detail services can't be beat whether they're a soft opening or not. And the prices, well, they'll get your attention. If you want your car to look its best for a little bit of dough, go to Roadrunner Car Wash today. Now, I know everybody, I guess if you weren't in Andalusia, you wouldn't know maybe that Andalusia's baseball team at Andalusia High School won the state 4A Alabama High School Athletic Association's baseball championship this year. And in fact, one of Andalusia's star pitchers or players, he plays more than pitcher, was a state player or tournament player of the year. Ethan Wilson's done a great job. There were plenty of young men that did well on this team. To celebrate that, Andalusia, the city of, plans a parade to honor those young men. The Andalusia City will celebrate the Andalusia High School State Championship baseball team with a parade at 6 p.m. on Tuesday, Mayor Earl Johnson said. The parade will begin at the First Baptist Church and continue to the square, where there will be a number of presentations, including a proclamation declaring Tuesday as Andalusia High School Bulldog Championship Baseball Team Day. Members of the team will also sign baseballs on the square. And I personally think we've probably got a couple of them that'll play in the big leagues before it's over with. All Andalusia High School fans are encouraged to line the parade route. Andalusia High School has played baseball for a long, long time. And we've never had a championship team, Mayor Earl Johnson said. This is great for our community, and we need people to turn out and show these kids our support and admiration. I'll tell you something special about these kids. They've made it into the playoffs in basketball, football, soccer, and baseball. That says an awful lot for a school that's from a small town like Andalusia. I think it says a lot about the quality of the kids over there, the quality of the coaches and educators they've got, but it says a lot about our town that even in small numbers we turn out great numbers to support people, especially our own. In other news, an Ott woman was stabbed and beaten night before last. In a report by Michelle Gerlach, Canine Tracking and the incident response teams from here in Covington County had to respond as an Ott woman was struck with a tire tool, stabbed multiple times in the right leg, and forcibly removed from a trailer in the Children's Trailer Park in Ott on Thursday morning. The police department was dispatched at 1:28 a.m. when a family member of the victim reported the incident. Officers said the caller indicated the suspect was armed with a shotgun. And when patrol units and investigators from the Covington County Sheriff's Department showed up, they surrounded the area. The Covington County Canine Tracking Team started a canine search of the area while members of the Covington County Incident Response Team located the victim and the suspect in another trailer within the trailer park. The suspect, Kenyatta Atkins, was removed from the trailer park by the incident response team members, and the victim was treated by paramedics and fire personnel before being transferred to Mizell Memorial Hospital. The victim was later taken by ambulance to Sacred Heart Hospital in Pensacola. Although the witnesses and the victim stated Atkins was in possession of a weapon, the officers did not recover one. Atkins, 43, of Ott, has been charged with burglary first degree, domestic violence first degree, and kidnapping first degree. All 3 offenses are Class A felonies and could result in at least 10 years in prison, up to 99 years or life. The case is still under investigation. Well, that ends our first segment. We'll be back in just a few minutes with some more news. Welcome back to Good News Covington County with Cousin Tom and my friend over there, Jared, our engineer, and Sleeping Willie over here on the couch. More news about Andalusia High School in this segment. Andalusia High School's valedictorian is an outstanding young lady, and we have a story about her in the Andalusia Star News written by Christopher Smith. When Andalusia High School valedictorian Bailey Robinson was in the 7th grade, she made her first 100 in a class, and she liked it. She said she strived to reach that feeling ever since. I remember how it made me feel to get that grade, Robinson said. It made me feel like all my hard work was actually being rewarded. I remember looking up to D'Amber Chambers, valedictorian of the Andalusia High School class of 2009. I looked up to her all of my life. She inspired me to do hard work. Robinson said that she's always been competing with salutatorian Callan Woodward. All throughout high school, it's always been me and her, Robertson said. Robertson has worked with several organizations throughout her time at Andalusia High School. And let me tell you, I want to read them down in a minute, but it's like every letter in the alphabet is used. She started working at Meredith's Miracles, where she was a princess at cookies with character. She worked at the Pilot Pancake Breakfast, St. Mary's Red Beans and Rice events, St. Mary's 5K Run, the Power South 5K Run, and the Full Tummy Project. I believe it is very important to give back to the community, Robertson said. At school, she is very involved in several different clubs like the Student Government Association, the FCCLA, the Usher Club, the Anchor Club, the Andalusia High School Peer Helpers, a City of Andalusia ambassador, and she was in the color guard for the Andalusia High School marching band as well. Robertson said that her parents and Elmore Lewis, her godfather, are the people that push her the most. I tell you, Elmore Lewis has helped a lot of people, inspired a lot of people in this community. My parents have always pushed me to do better. I mean, parents always want you to grow up better than they did, and I guess that is why they did it, Robertson said. Elmore Lewis has always believed in me. In youth group at church, he challenged all of us to learn the I Have a Dream speech, and I wanted to learn it just so I could show him. I just want to thank him for everything he has done for me. Outside of school, Robertson is a part of the Zeta Phi Beta Arcanettes. The Arcanettes are a high school-age young ladies who demonstrate interest in the goals and ideals of scholarship, sisterly love, and community service. I hope to be a part of Zeta Phi Beta one day, Robertson says. So being a part of the Arcanettes teaches me about the history of Zeta Phi. We also do a lot in the community service with the club as well. Zeta Phi Beta is a social sorority at Tuskegee University. Robertson is also very active in the church. She sings in the youth choir and is on the praise and dance team. Robertson plans to go to Tuskegee University. Folks, that is one of the highest rated universities in the world. In the fall, and major in biology with a long-term goal of becoming a physician's assistant. I think after a couple of years of being a physician's assistant, I will go back to school and become a doctor in the osteopathic medicine area. Robertson is the daughter of Robert and Lou Flores. Her parents are Albert and Lou Ida Robertson. Now, we might as well move along to the salutatorian of the Andalusia High School as well. In another article written by Christopher Smith, we talked about the salutatorian Callan Woodward. I've worked with Callan at a couple of projects, and she, just like Miss Robinson, is a very outstanding young lady. Woodward knew that making good grades was expected of her from the time she was in elementary school. It was something my parents expected from me, Woodward said. Then when I got to middle school, it was just something that I continued to do. Woodward said that her competition with valedictorian Bailey Robertson has been great. I didn't really compete with her in middle school, Woodward said. I was first all throughout high school until my junior year. Then we swapped places. She definitely deserves it, though. She stepped up when I slacked off. Woodward is very active in extracurricular activities at Andalusia High School, including the Student Government Association, being in band all 4 years, and being a drum major for her senior year. She's also active in the Key Club, the Anchor Club, and the Spanish Club. Outside of the classroom, Woodward is involved with the Cedar Grove Church of Christ youth group, Meredith's Miracles, Cookies with Characters. She's planned a 5K run for the Children's Hospital and works at Camp Wiregrass as a counselor. She's also Covington County's 2018 Distinguished Young Woman. Her parents and her nanny, Audrey Wilson, are her role models. My nanny has babysat me ever since I could remember, Woodward said. She has played a big part in who I am, and now we are such good friends. I love her so much. 5 days after graduation, Woodward plans on going to Mentone, Alabama to be a camp counselor. Then is going to the University of Alabama in the fall to major in business. She will also be a part of the Honors College at the University of Alabama. I don't know what I plan on doing with my degree, Woodward said. I guess we'll just see. Woodward is the daughter of Alan and Beth Woodward, and her grandparents are Edward, Jerry, and Gail Woodward, and Mary Ann and Jack Callan. Two outstanding young women from Covington County, great young women from Andalusia. We're so happy that we can celebrate the goodness that is in their lives. We'll be back shortly after another break. Our next local news is brought to you by the folks at Andalusia Tire Company, located at 850 Western Bypass in Andalusia, Alabama. If you've got a flat tire on anything from your bicycle to that Terragator spreading fertilizer in your field, your best choice to get rolling in a hurry is Andalusia Tire Company. Call Jimbo Caton, Todd Caton, or Greg Caton at 334-222-3136 for your tire, brake, and chassis needs. Chassis means alignment. Andalusia Tire can get you tires from just about anyone you want, anybody that you want tires from, even possibly for a left-hand drive vehicle. They'll do the work right the first time. You can always count on them to back up what they sell. Our next story is from a series of stories, in fact, it's the third in a series of stories about law enforcement officers here in Covington County. It's from the Andalusia Star News Friday edition, and it was written by Lacey Stinson. It's about a fellow named Howard West. Mr. West, I don't ever remember meeting him before. The other night when we were at the concert with Mr. Skaggs and Copperline Bluegrass, but he and I talked for a few minutes as they were moving some security around. What a fine individual he is. Howard West's love for people has driven him to work not one but two law enforcement jobs. West works in both the Covington County Sheriff's Department and as Red Level's Chief of Police. But his love for law enforcement began way before he was old enough to become an officer. As a child, he says, I grew up in Pensacola and used to watch the security guards in the grocery stores. And I met good officers from the Pensacola Police Department, he said. And even before West had dreamed of becoming a police officer, he says that ever since I was a kid, I wanted to be a police officer. Right out of high school, West joined the United States Army and had hopes of being an MP. I was too short to be a military policeman, he said, but he spent 20 years in the military before retiring and moving to Covington County. In 1995, he finally got a little closer to his dream. In 1995, he says, I started working at the Covington County Jail as a corrections officer. He said from then he transitioned into a full-time patrolman, and since then West has been a part of the criminal investigations team and is part of the current patrol supervisor for the Covington County Sheriff's Office. In 2007, West also became the Red Level Chief of Police. That meant that he spent 40 hours of his time working at the Covington County Sheriff's Office and around 20 hours of his time being the Red Level Chief. How he juggles the hours, he says, he just does it. He says it's not that bad. I work between the two. It's a standard schedule. It's just one of those things. I've been blessed with a good family. The toughest part of his job is separation of family. It's separation of family cases. It's tough when the separations of family and children, you have to deal with that and seeing the children of the victims. Wes said he's driven by the community. I just love helping people and serving them and serving the community. I've learned so much in my time in law enforcement. I learned how to care for people better, how to understand others and the problems that they now go through. Nothing rough about the business. It's just you've got to be loving and compassionate about the things that you do. And I believe this fella, from what I drew from the conclusions I drew from meeting with him, that's just the way he feels. Now we're going to move on to a story that's a little bit lighter. It's a story about Christopher Smith and a person named Ivy Goolsby. Now, Ivy Goolsby is different than a policeman or a sheriff. Ivy Goolsby runs a business called the Pretty Paws Pet Grooming, and has been open since December of last year. She said the business hasn't been rough at all. I am usually grooming around 10 dogs a day, Goolsby says. This is something that I wasn't planning on doing, but it kind of popped into my head. Goolsby attended the Florida Academy of Pet Grooming right after she graduated from Strong High School in 2017. I knew that I didn't want to go to 4 years of college, Goolsby said, and I love animals and have 2 dogs of my own. Goolsby offers an array of services for all breeds and sizes of dogs, including bathing, grooming, nail trimming, and specialty baths like flea and tick, bright white, oatmeal, and de-shedding baths. The prices differ by the size of the dog and if the dog's hair is matted or knotted. I usually charge $40 for a full-grown small dog, but a medium-sized dog or a large dog, it depends on their type of hair and how big it is. Goolsby said that she will soon offer boarding as well. If you're going to be going to the beach one weekend and you need to leave your dog in a nice place to stay, then you can leave it here, Goolsby said. I'm working on the details about boarding right now. Goolsby said the favorite part of grooming dogs is seeing their different personalities. It's crazy to see the personalities of different breeds, Goolsby said, because no matter what type of breed they are, they're all going to be different. She also likes to see people's reactions when they see their dog after the finished grooming. Sometimes people don't recognize their dog when they come to pick them up. Goolsby said, but they always love them the same. Goolsby has lived in Rose Hill her entire life and graduated from Strawn High School in 2017. Pretty Paws Pet Grooming is open from 8 to 5 p.m. by appointment only. And from what I can see in the paper, she does a great job. It's always nice to have a clean dog. I can't seem to ever get mine clean enough. We're going to take a break right now, and we'll be back shortly. I want to ask you to help us out something. And it may sound a little bizarre, but we're trying to build this business into something more than just a television station. And we need each and every one of you to help us do that. We appreciate it when every one of you goes and befriends us on Facebook, says that we like you, we're liked. Even there are probably some of y'all that have done it, even though you may not like us. I appreciate that a lot, and so does the rest of the crew of the world's smallest television station. As we try to grow this thing from the world's smallest television station to the world's smallest media company, we need your help in doing something else. And that's going to a thing called YouTube and becoming a subscriber to YouTube. Now, I talked with my sister last night about this, and she says she goes over to YouTube and she just looks at it, but she doesn't subscribe to it. I'm thinking that's the way it may be with a lot of other people out there, because she felt like that there would be a big charge to her credit card or something like that for subscribing to YouTube. It doesn't work that way. All that does is allow you to go straight to a channel that features the entertainment from the people that you like to watch, and we hope that you like to watch us doing that. And if you go to YouTube and look for us and look at us, if you can just become a subscriber, you'll help us build a base of people that we can use to then take this business and make it something that's just a little bit bigger than we've got right now. But we can't do it unless you folks go and subscribe to Good News Covington County on WKNI at YouTube. Now, I bored you to death with that, but it's really important, and I'd appreciate it if you do us that favor. Just go to your computer and subscribe to us. We'll be more than appreciative. Now, more local news is brought to you courtesy of the people at Darby's Medical Center. That's located across the street from the Andalusia Health Campus. That's also known as Andalusia Hospital. And Darby's original village pharmacy, located at 301A East 3 Night Street. No matter which side of town you live on, Darby's has a pharmacy near you, with professional, local pharmacists and prices competitive with any of the big chains. In fact, I'll be going there today to pick up some competitively priced pharmaceuticals for my family. Darby's is your best choice for your pharmacy needs. Call Laura and the other professionals at 582-3784 if you need help at the South 3 Night store, or David and his highly qualified group of professionals at 222-8825 at the East 3 Nights location. Now, folks, we got something coming up tonight. In fact, it's got one of our people so excited they nearly blew his brains out trying to sneeze when I brought it up. And I want to remind you of the Little Black Dress fundraiser on May 19th. There's an article in the Andalusia Star News by a lovely lady, Michelle Gerlach, who is a good writer and an all-around good scout. And she's talking about comedian Leanne Morgan. And Leanne is going to be back this weekend for the 2018 Little Black Dress event. That's set for tomorrow night, Saturday, May 19th at the Andalusia Country Club. Now, Leanne's a native of Eastern Tennessee, and Morgan is described as Scarlett O'Hara turned soccer mom. Now, my wife went last year to this, and in fact, she's going again to it. We had to buy some more black clothing. And, you know, I guess the good thing is if I ever flip the switch and die, she's got plenty of clothes to wear. But she bought new clothing for this, and she looks like $1 million, if I do say so. And I don't mean wrinkled and green. But after last year, everybody wanted to see Leanne Morgan back. So Curtis Simpson, the organizer of it, said, I know my wife went to the Little Black Dress event and thoroughly enjoyed her. Well, it's a fun thing to do. There's a social hour, there's dinner, a show, and a silent auction that's just for women. And it will benefit the Covington County Imagination Library. That's a literacy program that provides free books to children aged birth to 5 years old. The Little Black Dress only supports the efforts in Covington County. Building a library of 60 books for each child by the time they reach 5 years old, and enters kindergarten. At the present, the program has served 975 children, and we happen to know this program works well because one of us has a daughter that's receiving the books. The program is affiliated with the Dolly Parton Imagination Library, which helps provide the books at reduced cost. Simpson said that every child's first book is The Little Engine That Could. And the last book one is Look Out Kindergarten, Here I Come. This is their only fundraiser for the organization, Simpson said. The silent auction and the social hour featuring live music begin at 6 p.m. with the dinner at 7. In the past, the event has included a fashion show, but this year the fashion will be displayed on mannequins throughout the evening. Clothing from Town and Country Boutique and LuLaRoe will be featured. Individual tickets are $100. A table of 6 is $500. And a corporate sponsorship is $1,000. Tickets are available at Harold's. Now, folks, I want you to understand this. This is the only fundraiser for about 700 kids in Covington County to help them with their literacy. The books are basically at no charge, thanks to the Dolly Parton Imagination Foundation. Thankful that she's done that well in life and that she can provide that kind of largesse to people. But they can't get the books here, and they can't get them to the kids without paying for freight. And that's what this event is all about, is raising money for them to get the books from the foundation and then get them to the kids. You know, whatever you order, a Ginsu or anything on TV, they have to charge you shipping and handling and several other mysterious things. These people aren't like that. At the end of the year, they don't have any money left over. They make sure that it's all spent on the children. And that's important. Now, we've talked about the baseball thing some more, but there's a wonderful program that's going on at Andalusia Elementary School that I want to talk to you about for a minute. There's an article by Christopher Smith, again in the Andalusia Star News, and it has something to do with a project they've worked with over at Andalusia Elementary School, a great project. And the baseball team that did so well, there's a lot of parallels in there. Champs, it goes like this. Champs reinforce the habits for AES students. For Andalusia Elementary School teachers and administrators who have been teaching the 7 habits of highly effective people to their students, the Andalusia High School team, baseball team, which won the state championship Wednesday, was a living lesson. And so it came to pass that less than 24 hours after winning the state title, the team paraded through the halls of the Andalusia Elementary School to reiterate the importance of the second habit. Begin with the end in mind. And the 6th habit, synergize. It was one of those things that people talked about and tied to the Leader in Me program that they use in the Andalusia Elementary School program. It's a great program where they really strive to find common ground that these children can find where their niche is. This is an oversimplification, and learn how to lead. There's something special in every child that we meet in life. This helps identify that and helps them carry their mission in life forward. Former AES principal and current system curriculum coordinator Patty Taylor said, "Our kids had a goal and worked towards it. It was cool to see them walk around with that trophy, the trophy from the Andalusia High School baseball team." Taylor said the event came together quickly because we have some mamas that teach at elementary school, and we all taught those boys. Head baseball coach Tyler Dent and the Andalusia High School principal Dr. Daniel Shakespeare helped make it happen. She said, "We decided to connect the second habit, begin with the end in mind, and the 6th habit, to synergize with the baseball team winning the state championship. If we start making these connections in real life, then hopefully it will make things stick with the children, students. We wanted to win a baseball championship, so they started making little goals to achieve that," Hardy said. "They had a plan and they executed it." She also said that the 6th habit connects because the team was able to synergize and work as a team to achieve their goals. If we start making these goals and these connections early on in our lives, then we can realize that any goal can be achieved. Hardy said making goals and working as a team is so important. Well, AES, and this is the proof of the pudding, Emily Mixon, a student at Andalusia Elementary, said that the second habit ties in well with the baseball team. She said they set a goal with the end in mind, Mixon said. Every practice and every game that had a goal in their head, they had a goal in their head and they made that goal. It made them work even harder. Whether it is academic, in sports, we want to get these habits in their head so that they can become successful in anything that they do. And so much of being successful is in between your two ears. And I've seen this program utilized. It does miraculous work. The Leader in Me program is based on Stephen Covey's 7 habits, which are to be proactive, to begin with the end in mind, to put first things first, and think win-win, to seek first to understand, then to be understood, to synergize, and to sharpen the saw. All of those important things becoming successful in life. And I think we're really fortunate to have people at our educational system here in Andalusia that have the drive to try to incorporate those values into the lives of the students that they teach. Well, that brings us to the end of this session. We'll be back shortly with more news. Our next news is brought to you courtesy of Bauer Auto Parts, located at 304 East Covington Avenue in Opp, Alabama. Well, three out of the crew of the world's smallest television station went over to see Jamie and Jackie yesterday in Opp at their store at 304 East Covington Avenue. And I want to tell you something, Opp's such a great place. We were getting ready to go out to Opp. We were standing in front of the station and a lady stopped, rolled down her windows. I thought she was going to throw a rotten egg at me or something. But she said, "No, I'm so-and-so, I'm Miss Jackson." And I remember that she was a lady that we met over in Opp at the meet and greet for the Republican Party. And she said, "I just want to tell you how much I enjoy your show and how informative you are." Well, you know, that's music to our ears. We want to hear that. We've had a lot of issues that we've tried to work through here, and we continue to try to get better with our program. But it was wonderful to hear that, and she said, you know, just please continue to do the good work. And I'm not trying to pat myself on the back because, you know, I'm the last guy that needs to be announcing on television. I've got a face for radio or maybe for the post office, but not for television. But I appreciate Ms. Jackson saying that. She's a nice lady, a sweet lady. But anyway, it shows that, you know, we've got people in Opp that are listening to us. And I want people in Opp to know that we treasure every one of them. I've been in talk with the Chamber of Commerce people and a number of other people over there as we try to build this business into a part of Opp. We had a great visit with some other people in another business over at Opp, and you'll see a program built around what they're doing next week. But we're just thankful for you people in Opp. Y'all have been so good to us, and we want to continue that. But I want to talk about Bauer Auto Parts for a minute. As I said, they're located at 304 East Covington Avenue in Opp, Alabama. I've said this before, if you need auto parts, you need to check out the best four-letter word in auto parts, and that's Napa. At Bauer Auto Parts, you can call Jamie or Jackie or, truthfully, about anybody in that store. And if they don't know it, they'll find somebody that does, and they'll try to help you. They're the perfect place to go for all your auto parts needs, your heavy-duty trucking needs, and hydraulic system needs. Right now, they got a special going on Mobile Oil 1 and Chicago pneumatic air tubes. Don't miss out on these great deals. Go by the store and ask Jamie to give you this flyer that they've got right here, or Jackie or any of the other folks. They've got specials on Chicago pneumatic, on DeWalt tools, Evercraft jacks, beautiful gear wrench, and I've got some gear wrench tools, excellent quality. It makes your working on a car so easy. Just don't miss out on the great deals they have. That's at Bauer Auto Parts in Opp, Alabama. Now we got some more news here. The Farmers Market, which is a thing I look forward to every year here in Andalusia, is opening Saturday. That's tomorrow. There's a great article about that in the Andalusia Star News. Lacey Stinson was the writer. Now, for those of you that have been craving local honey, fresh fruits and vegetables and other home goods, don't worry. The 2018 Andalusia Farmers Market will kick off its season on Saturday, May 19th from 7 a.m. until noon at the Power Plant Marketplace on Central Street. From there, the market will be open every Wednesday and Saturday from 7 a.m. until noon. The farmers market usually starts in May and ends by the end of August. That's when the tomatoes and all these other vegetables that we have in this area start running out. Allison Bujevich, the market manager, said there's going to be a little bit of everything, which is great. There'll be vegetables, fruit, baked goods, jams, jellies, fresh cut flowers, and craft goods. There's people there that will sell you plants that are native to this area and that they do beautifully there. You can buy soap. You can buy a number of different things, all locally produced by local craftspeople. She said the market will be an outside market, with the building open for bathroom facilities. Voyevich's goal has been for the farmers market to have a family feel, and they achieved that. I want this to be a thing where families come out and do their shopping. A successful example of this is the farmers market up in Montgomery. And while I know that we're not as big as Montgomery, that's a great thing to go. And if you've got a spare Saturday, you ought to go up there sometime to see how successful this can be. All we've got to have is local involvement. And I would encourage you to get up with Ms. Voyevich and see what you can do to involve yourself in this market. This is Voyevich's first year as a market manager, but she's hoping to get more social media interaction going on. For more information on the market, call Ms. Voyevich 334-222-3312. Now, if you don't know where this market is, it's at the old power plant location on, I think it's 3rd Street. But you go down the hill from the First National Bank building here on the square, and you go down to the first paved left. And you follow that, I don't know, 300 or 400 yards, and you'll see the old power plant building, and they'll be in there. And some of the nicest people with some of the best tomatoes and vegetables that you'll ever see. You know, we've had some sports news about Andalusia. What a great thing it was. And I wish I could say that I had great sports news to talk about for our friends in the city of Opp. They've got such a good baseball program over there. And they've got a wonderful softball program for women over there. And there's a good article. They've just really done well. They got the regional and got the state. They've really done well this year. Josh Dutton with the Andalusia Star News wrote an article about the Lady Bobcats going up to Prattville. And unfortunately, the Bobcats are not going to, I don't know that they're going to be able to make it all the way to state. They lost the first game. Lady Bobcats couldn't get much going as they fell to Prattville Christian 4-1 in the opening round of the Class 3A softball state tournament held at Lagoon Park in Montgomery. Opp starting pitcher Grace Ann Spears got Madison Hanson to ground out to the mound for the first out of the game. Next, Prattville Christian batter looped the ball into foul territory behind the third base bag where Arian Hightower snagged the ball for a second out. Spears then got Callie McNally to strike out to end the top of the first inning. Folks, we got folks coming, things falling apart all over the place. Did y'all feel that earthquake? Do we have an earthquake going on? Well, anyway, Callie McNear managed to strike out at the end of the first inning. And in the top of the second inning, Catherine Follen scorched a ball to the right field and bounced off the glove of Hannah Wismer to give Prattville Christian their final base runner, their first base runner of the game. Well, the tremors are over. I'm sure I'll tremble a little bit later. The next batter that popped up when behind the plate where Short caught the ball for the first out in the frame. Fallon then stole second base and came around to score on a double from McKenzie to Montgomery to put Prattville Christian on top 1-0. Spears then struck out Hannah Thrift for the second out of the inning, and then a walk, and then a pair of Lady Bobcat errors allowed Prattville Christian to go up 3-0. Spears struck out the next batter at the end of the frame, and Landon McAnally stayed strong in the pitcher's circle as she set down the Bobcats in order in the bottom of the second inning. Prattville Christian got a leadoff single to start the top of the third inning, and Spears struck out the next batters for the first out in the inning. But then another single gave Prattville Providence Christian a 4-0 lead. I played in an elimination game later in the day, but were not available with that score at the time. Anyway, that's I hope they did well. I've not been able to find out what the score was either, but I hope they can do as well as Andalusia did, and that's play themselves back into a state championship. We'll be back in just a minute after this break. Welcome back to Good News Covington County. This is our final section for the day and for the week too. Our final news, weather, and buzzard report and the fishing tables are brought to you by Anthony King and all the outfitters and guides at Fletcher's Outdoors in Andalusia. If you need expert advice on what's biting on the local lakes, ask the folks at Fletcher's. They'll not only tell you what's biting, they'll tell you what to catch them on. They'll be happy to help you with all of your hunting and fishing needs, even the coolers and the ice. Check with Fletcher's Outdoors, located at the corner of Martin Luther King Bypass and the Brooklyn Road. Got the best gun display for many, many miles. Oh yeah, and if you're hungry, Fletcher's has got a breakfast buffet that's worth waking up early for. Now, today's outdoor adventure starts with the daily Soliner tables. These tables come to us courtesy of the folks at Bassmasters. Today should be a good day for fishing, according to our tables. The best daylight fishing times for today will be from about 2:47 this afternoon until about 6:49 p.m. And tonight's best fishing will be from 2:11 a.m. on Saturday morning to about 5:33 a.m. So there's some opportunities. If you don't want to go fishing in the middle of the day, you can wake up 3 o'clock in the morning and go and catch some good fishing, get some good fish and do some good fishing before the sun even gets up. Now, coming to you from his observation point platform high atop the Covington County Courthouse, Dr. Arthritis McDaniel said that there were 14 of Covington County's beautiful carnivores, raptors, whatever you want to call them, located on the courthouse this morning. Now for the weather for Sunday and Saturday and Friday and whatever. Today we got a heavy chance of rain. Cloudy. Well, doesn't look like it much right now, but it's supposed to get cloudy. And a high near 90 with a low about 62. The chance of rain is about 40 to 50% both days. Tonight will be about 30% chance of rain. Tomorrow, 40% chance of rain and 30% chance. On Sunday, the rain chance goes up to about 50%. So if you're going anywhere and you're going out, be careful. Carry yourself something to keep you dry. And if you're camping, carry something to kill the bugs with. Folks, we thank you for watching us this week. Again, we'll ask you to try to go to YouTube and subscribe to us. It'd be very helpful to us. I hope you have a great weekend. I hope your family has a good and safe time. And I ask you to remember two things. Be kind to one another and shop local. We'll see you Monday.